This is part 3 of the Managing Screens tutorial. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and build up a programming list for you right now. And let's do that by creating a new browser configuration. And in this one, we'll call it programming. You can call it whatever you want, but I'm going to call it programming. Yeah, actually, we'll call it programming tutorial. All right. And make sure you have a zip in there. Make sure it's the zip for the screens where you're going to be sending the information. We're going to go with the split screen. And actually, none of these other buttons need to be visible. The first button you need to check visible, even though you're going to hide the navigation controls, because it needs the application needs to know what context the navigation is in. And when you're dealing with hide navigation controls, it's going to execute whatever is only in this first button, the very first button, and nav button 1 we call it. And but we're going to hide it, especially if you just want it to look like a streaming television program on the left. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go pick some programming. And the easiest way to do that is for me to go to YouTube. And here we have a Clean Comedian. And make sure that you vet all of your media and watch it thoroughly through, so that you know you're not putting anything objectionable up there. And so I grabbed the YouTube. I went to the URL where there was the video that I wanted, and I just grab and copy the URL and paste it into the new list item URL section, and we'll call this Clean Comedian. Okay, now what I'm going to do, and I've actually calculated how long it takes. It's 711 seconds of video, and so I'm going to put that here. Now we're going to be adding add minutes and seconds, but right now it's just seconds. So you're just going to have to figure out how many seconds the video is. And I'm going to add this to my list, and that will be the first video that's going to show up in my list. That'll be running as soon as I push the screen to my as soon as I push this configuration to my screen, then it'll start running that video, and it'll run it for 711 seconds. And actually, what I'm going to do here is I'm only going to run these for now, just for about 20 seconds each, okay? Whatever I run, I'm just going to run it for 20 seconds so you can see it go from media to media to media, streaming media, in sequence here. So let's go find another one. We'll search, and let's see, hotel pools, okay? We'll grab this video. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to go new, and we'll call this Clean Comedian 2. I'm going to paste the URL here, where we're going to let that run for 20 seconds. Okay, let's go pick one more. You can see Clean Comedians again. We'll search, and we'll just do one other thing. Or you might do something like Flash Mob. Okay, and we'll do a search on Flash Mob. And the Christmas Food Court one, this was really good. I loved this Hallelujah Chorus thing. I'm going to grab this, copy, manage screens, and new. And we're going to go Flash Mob Christmas at Food Court. Okay, just so I know what, at Food Court. I'm going to paste, grab this, delete it, put in the URL for that one. And let's just go look here. That thing is 4 minutes. So that's 297 seconds. I'm just going to go ahead and put that one in there. I love that video. 297 seconds. Okay. So I've got Clean Comedian 2, and Flash Mob 20, 20, and 297. Now I've got to save this configuration. Okay. So I've got a split screen. Visible is checked. Hide navigation controls is checked. Whether these are visible or not is irrelevant because hide navigation controls is checked. In the first navigation button, I have 3 entries with 3 different URLs. I'm going to run for 20 seconds, 20 seconds, and 297 seconds. Okay, I've saved that. I'll save it again just to make sure. And then now I'm going to push that to the screen. All right, here you see the media that I have on there from prior, but now I'm going to push this one. Again, we're not going to use the send master media. We're going to send the browser configuration. This is sending what's going to be on the right side. This is going to send the overall framework, which says, hey, I want a split screen layout. And then it's going to determine what are in the URL sequences. So here we go. I'm going to push that. Now we should see, and again, this takes up to 15 seconds for it to update. So stand by on 1. Okay, here we go. And now it's going to go run this first clean comedian, and it'll run that for 20 seconds. Now on the right side of the screen, while this guy's doing his little stand-up routine, what we'll see is that it's running the specific media programming from our media library. Okay, now it's going to go to the next comedian. So let me push something on the right side real quick. I'll push a different master media schedule so you can see what I'm talking about. I'll just push Space Mountain. That's a rather dull media panel, but you'll see that in a second. Okay, so this is just 3 720 by 300 Space Mountain things. Now on the left, you remember I ran for 20, 20, and now I'm going to run for the full video here, and this is going to do the Flash Mob Food Court Hallelujah Chorus video, which I absolutely love. I think that is really, really funny. So here I have built up programming. I have sent it to the screen. And now the screens that I have relevant programming. Now, of course, if I want to come in here and add, advertisement stuff, interleave advertisement stuff, I can do that. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. And I know that this particular GM dealership has a bunch of ads up there. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and I'll just click on this one. So here's some, what does this say? Silverado or something. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm at Tahoe, Chevy Tahoe. I'm just grab the URL here. Manage screens. I'm going to come down here. I'm going to add to this my Tahoe ad. Paste the Tahoe URL. I'll just call it Tahoe. And that guy is only running for 42 seconds. So I'll come down here and we'll say 42. Add caption. So now I've got my Tahoe here. And let's say I want the Tahoe to run first. I click it, and in the captions, I click the caption of the one that I want to move, and then I can move it up or down. I'll move it down 1. Now move it up 1. And I can actually move groups of these. So if I have Tahoe and Flash Mob and I want those both to go to the top of the list, I can grab them both and they'll go to as I push, they'll both be moved up the list. Save this. And then anytime you've made changes, now I'm going to go ahead and send my new programming schedule to the screen. And you'll see it should run my Tahoe ad first. There we go. It's running the Tahoe ad. Of course, I've got that Space Mountain ad on the right side. I'm going to go ahead and push media that is more suitable, more meaningful to this. So now I've done something just that affects the right side. So the top darker shaded blue up in here affects the right side, and then all this affects the entire layout. And if I wanted this to be full screen, I could click on full screen for the configuration, save it, and then go ahead and send it to the screen, and then it'll get rid of the right panel, and then it's going to expand the ad to the full screen. And that is it.